Peter was like, he had Peter around the like it was like, I'm your friend. My name is Peter Parker. I'm your friend. Nigga, let me go. And he let him go. I was like, snap. That's how Spider-Man dies. So clearly, this is not somebody that even goes to this school. Doesn't go to this school. You in New York. He knows all about your inhibitor. Nigga, how come you didn't put 2 and 2 together? That would have been my first immediate thought. This nigga is Spider-Man. Or he's some sort of hero or something, because ain't no regular degular ass kid gonna know all these big ass words. You don't even attend the motherfucking college. You don't even know where the library's at. This Spider-Man. Spider-Man, what is you doing? I went to go and see Spider-Man Brand New Day with my son, and surprise, surprise, I have things to say.
I just told you who I thought I was. A guy.
Bitch, I'm the villain. Nigga.
The movie overall was good. That's really been the issue with Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man movies usually are pretty good. I wasn't expecting to go in finding dog shit, and I didn't find dog shit. I did take notes while watching the movie, so let's go over them. Okay, so one thing that I found very, I don't know, it was off-putting, was the very beginning. Tom Holland comes on and he's all like, hey you guys, this is a really great movie. We've tried to do our absolute best to make it, you know, heartfelt and blah, 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 whatever. Like, he's hyping up the movie before, honey, we're already in the seats. You don't have to hype up the movie before. Is that what we're doing now? That was strange. I didn't like that. I also didn't like the product placement within the first 5 minutes of the movie. Whatever cell phone that was, I low-key kind of want one now, but whatever cell phone that was, that flips and then it turns into a thing, or you can close it. I did not like the product placement. The very obvious product placement. And then finally, during the movie, I had written down the Hand are fucking good guys now. Okay, that really confused me when they were like, oh yeah, when the organization was like, yeah, the Hand, it turns out that they're just a bunch of misguided kids and now they work for us. Like, fucking what? You really made us miss the Hand? Really? Okay. That wasn't nearly as upsetting as I thought that it would be. I thought I would be really, 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 really irritated by that addition. But after I wrote that down, I didn't write anything else down. That's because I was that immersed into the movie. It was a good movie. So let's go over 3 areas: the good, the bad, and the confusing. Okay, so the good was CGI. The CGI was really good. One thing that I was going to write at the very beginning was amazing special effects, and that was not going to be in the good pile. That was going to be in the bad pile, because usually whenever there's amazing special effects and it's right there at the top of the movie, that means we're relying on these special effects to keep you engaged. We're relying on this because the plot isn't that great. That's what that tells me. And to be honest with you, the plot, we'll get to the plot later. The plot is not in the good pile, by the way. However, Hulk's foot, when it slid back, there's a moment when the Hulk's foot slides back and there's a close-up shot of it. It looks real AI. And the close-up of his eyes, that looked really AI to me. But I don't know, like, honestly, I'm almost willing to forget. No, I am totally willing to forgive it, because when Peter Parker kept saying, Dr. Banner, are you okay? I literally said, right before he was about to say, no Banner, only Hulk. Bro, I kept my composure, but it was very, very hard to, because it has been so long since we've heard no Banner, only Hulk, Hulk smash, damn it. And it was a little bit confusing as him as the Hulk, but he's speaking legibly, but we know it's not the Bruce Hulk hybrid. We know it's not that. It was kind of awkward. But then we saw that Jean Grey was speaking through him, and then, oh okay, now I get it. So the acting, that the I would say that the Hulk was probably one of, like, definitely within the top five, definitely within the top three of what made this movie so amazing, was the Hulk appearance. We needed the Hulk. We needed the Hulk. We needed Bruce Banner because of the inhibitor. We're gonna get to the inhibitor. I love that they didn't make Ned a villain. I heard from several sources that they might have they were thinking about making Ned the villain. And if you're a huge comic book fan, you already know where that goes to. I did not want that story at all, and I'm very glad that we didn't get that story. Jean's appearance in the movie, like, yes, this was a Jean movie, but it wasn't a Jean movie. It wasn't a Jean origin story movie, but it definitely has a lot of it in there. And I'm glad that they didn't make it all about Jean. It's still a Spider-Man movie. Like, okay, I'm glad that they didn't do with this movie how they did with the Multiverse of Madness. The Multiverse of Madness was not a Doctor Strange movie. It was an America Chavez movie. It was a movie for her, disguised as a Strange and Wanda movie, right? But I'm really glad that they didn't do that. Subverting the audience's expectations. Do that within the movie a little bit. Not, I think too many movies have gone overboard with that. Okay, so with Jean coming in, it was after Spider-Man got the inhibitor on Jean and they were wheeling her away. I was like, they better not end the movie right here. I'm glad that they didn't. That was just the halfway mark. But the plot, I was not aware. When they kept jumping into people, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Jean. But then they were like, okay, we've got to track, like, what's the anomalies? What are the physical anomalies here? And then he realized that she could only go, or whoever it is, can only jump 33 feet. So that did not lead me to believe Jean Grey. You know what I mean? And then the whole VMAX thing, that was actually kind of sad. That was kind of sad. Once I realized it, I was like, oh, she finna go off. And off she went. She went off. So I like the fact that they gave her a sister that died. You know what I mean? That this isn't an introduction where she went crazy and did a bunch of crazy stuff, and then Professor X tries to, like, I like that this is a different type of story that we're able to see on screen, and it ties in very, very well with Spider-Man. I knew that this was going to be a good movie because I can't think of a single bad Spider-Man movie. I enjoyed them all, but if there's a way for Marvel to fuck shit up, they'll find it. So the mutants get me excited. I like the mutant edition, how they're adding them. I thought it was going to be real. We will see, though. We will see. This isn't the end all be all. We still have to see where they're going to take this. The jokes were on point. I liked the jokes. I liked how many jokes there were. There were only a handful that just came at the wrong time. Like, okay, the Punisher, liked him as an addition, I guess. This is not in the good pile. But his jokes, a lot of them came at very inopportune times. Like, you can tell that the editor of the movie gives you a beat to kind of feel the feels or feel whatever it is that you're supposed to be feeling on screen. But just kidding, because here comes the Punisher with a joke, with an inappropriate joke at that. So I don't know. Let me say this. I like John Barenthal, the actor. I liked him as Shane. I like him as the Punisher. I guess we could go ahead and transition on into the bad. the bad. John Barenthal's edition was cool and fun and made it a little bit more adult themed. You know, a lot of these characters, our kids are growing up with them. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up with the Harry Potter kids. They had to age that up a little bit, you know, not making it like raunchy or anything, but like fixing it to where, okay, these kids are growing up, the audience is growing up, we got to match what we're showing on screen to the audience. So, but they didn't, so I understand the addition of the Punisher to kind of make it a little bit more, I guess, PG-13, without having to add somebody like Deadpool. So I understand it in that sense, but honestly, you really could have put any street level hero, crime fighter in that position as the Punisher, and the movie would not have changed at all. I would have liked to have seen, like, okay, so yes, the Punisher was chasing after the Thing, but it would have been more awesome if the Punisher was chasing after a formal rivalry of his, somebody that he actually knew that was being puppeteered by Jean Grey. And then that's how he fits into the story. And maybe they could have that villain do more things to make it more, oh, this is why the Punisher is in this movie. You could literally replace him with anybody else. I guess that would be my hot take for the video. I don't know. Ned was pointless in the video. He was absolutely pointless. You could have taken Ned completely out and the movie would have remained the same. I think that the only reason why they left Ned in is because he's a fan favorite. People like him. I didn't really like his acting too much in this. You know, it was very, I'm still trying to act like a child even though I'm in this convenience store buying kegs of beer. You know what I mean? Kegs of beer. Okay, so leading to the housewarming. You could say that Peter knew that the housewarming was happening because they posted it on social media, but MJ seems a little bit smarter than that. So that scene only leads me to believe that he really did just randomly see Ned, decide to stalk him, and then find out that they just so happen to be having a housewarming party. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe he did know. But how would he know the address? I know that later, Jean Grey is like, yeah, I already know because your dumbass girlfriend's roommate posted the address because he's stupid. But did he post the address before that conversation or did he post the address for the housewarming? Who? And then them having like regular conversations. Did you get the job? In the middle of this housewarming, she come right in, gets plates and starts cooking her dinner and everything like that. When you have a whole ass party, this strange man done brought flowers for your housewarming and you ain't got hardly 2 words to say to him. That was kind of rude. That was kind of rude. I don't know. Etiquette these days are just not, that was kind of rude and I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. But that scene, it was so unrealistic. Everything about it was unrealistic. Ooh, I just so happened to have an excuse to walk up in y'all's house, talk to you, okay, and also see the other dynamics that you have within this household, i.e. MJ's new boyfriend. Now, here's the thing. Peter saw MJ kissing another guy. That's her boyfriend. And rightfully so. He can't even be upset about it because she doesn't know who he is. So he's got a lot of misplaced anger and aggression. He can't place it on the guy because the guy is he's just a guy. You know, you can't put it on MJ. She's not cheating on you. She has no clue that you exist because you refused to tell her how all of this had happened because you were so afraid of whatever. I don't understand why he would. I mean, I get it. I understand why he wouldn't say it. But also at the same time, like, she loved you before. Why would you be afraid to tell her, like, immediately? If the situation was reversed and I was Peter Parker and MJ was my girlfriend and then she had to forget about me, immediately I'm slapping the shit out that bitch. Hey, bitch. Hey, don't you go nowhere, bitch. Bitch, you stay put. I'm renaming your ass Kizzy. Kissing means stay put. All right, sorry. But at the same time, like, okay, so that seeing MJ kissing another guy led to Peter Parker having a bit of a panic attack, and then that led to the jump start of him changing or whatever. Does this mean that Peter Parker is a mutant or not? I don't know. I should put that in the confusing. Let's go ahead and move on to the confusing. That was it for the bad. Let's move on to the confusing. So, is Peter Parker a mutant? I know there's a lot of debate around that, but okay. This Peter Parker got bit by a spider, and he has like arachnid DNA, but could not shoot the webs out of his own from his own body until now. Now he can, because he's mutating. So I guess if you're mutating, then maybe you're a mutant too. But also, what kind of DNA do you have to have in order for a radioactive spider to bite you and you survive? Not only survive, but actually thrive off of that spider bite. I can understand, the changing forms, the black eyes, the super aggression and all of that. I like that. I love that. And I love that he was struggling with, okay, the inhibitor. Like, I'm changing. I hurt people when I changed. So I need to be stopped because I'm a good guy and I stop bad things from happening. But I'm also not realizing that this could go down a really dark road. Banner tried to explain that to him. Like, when he realized, hey, yo, like, my guy, this could be bad. Like, you're sitting here, like, you're thinking, and then you made a universal one. Ooh. But then I started thinking back and I was like, yeah, he would be on Tony's side of Civil War, because he was on Tony's side of Civil War. And this sounds like some shit that Tony would do. So, I don't know, but that made me kind of nervous. Like, what are they going to do with this? Because clearly somebody has the schematics for the inhibitor. That's sad. And if they continue on with this, this is going to turn very dark. Very dark. And hopefully something darker than we've ever seen before. Also, here goes another part of, I got a couple of things under what I'm confused about, the confusion. I'm confused about how long it took for Ned to realize that he was Peter Parker. Let me hop back real quick. When Bruce was talking to Peter on campus, and he was like, he was like, oh, so this how your inhibitor works. At that moment, Bruce should have been like, well, he did. He was like, you're not one of my students, are you? He was like, nah, I'm just gonna go to the library. And he's like, library's that way. So clearly this is not somebody that even goes to this school. Doesn't go to this school. You in New York. He knows all about your inhibitor. Nigga, how come you didn't put two and two together? That would have been my first immediate thought. This nigga is Spider-Man. Or he's some sort of hero or something, because ain't no regular degular ass kid gonna know all these big ass words. You don't even attend the motherfucking college. You don't even know where the library's at. This Spider-Man, what is you doing? Making inhibitors and shit. Asking me about mines. How did you not know that? How did Ned not know? As soon as MJ was like, be careful, Peter, or something, she said something, Peter, and Ned was right next to her. And he's like, yo, Spider-Man's name is Peter? I'm so sorry, but I don't even, like, currently right now, I don't even think that I know a Peter in my life. That if I were to, the next Peter that I meet, and any subsequent Peters that I meet, until I know who Spider-Man is, I'm gonna be like, nigga, is you Spider-Man? Spider-Man named Peter. Is your name Peter? Your name is Peter, so that means that you're Spider-Man. Are you Spider? Did you save me, nigga? But it wasn't until the handshake, West Side. It wasn't until the handshake that he knew, and he was like, Peter? But it was that like a Peter, like, I remember you, my nigga? Or was this like a Peter, like, Oh yeah, I remember that Spider-Man name is Peter. And although I remember that you was at my housewarming party several weeks ago, and even though my roommate just told me that your name was Peter, and then I'm not understanding how is it that Ned is so smart, but it took you this long to realize, like, my guy, what the fuck? I do love how, okay, back to the good. I do love how when ooh the whole he was like he was fucking Peter up. He was fucking him up. And then Peter was like, he had Peter around the like it was like, I'm your friend. My name is Peter Parker. I'm your friend. Nigga, let me go. And he let him go. I was like, snap. That's how Spider-Man dies. I really thought that that's how it was gonna end. But because when Spider-Man got shot, I was like, oh shit, is Spider-Man dead now? But he didn't die. But I thought that Hope was going, like Homelander did to A-Train. But he didn't do that. He let him go. And he was like sliding down. And he was trying not to fall. And he looked at him. And he was like, nigga, I don't know what you're talking about. But you sounded real serious. And you told me your name. And I don't think you be telling people your name or anything like that. So that was so sweet. Because we all know that Bruce ain't finna die. Come on. Then that leads me to, that doesn't lead me to nothing. Actually, it's just something I look down at. How did Ned remember through the handshake, but not MJ? My son said it's because of muscle memory, because of the handshake. He said that it's muscle memory. I am like, okay, well, if it's muscle memory, then all MJ got to do is just kiss him. And my son was like, nah, because MJ wasn't about that PDA, so they probably didn't kiss a lot. And I'm like, you need a girlfriend. But also at the same time, let's cut that out. But you don't have to be involved in a bunch of PDA to kiss somebody a lot. There's somebody that I love to kiss, but I'm not about no PDA. Ain't nobody ever see me kissing this food. But I like, let me cut that out. There is so much that I'm having to cut out of this fucking video, bro. Oh, here's the last thing that I'm super confused about. Why come Jean Grey could not hop into Peter? Don't say because he's a mutant. Because Jean's sister hopped into her to keep Jean from going after Sarah when they took Sarah. So don't tell me it's because he's a mutant. Why couldn't Jean Grey penetrate Peter Parker's mind? Does it have something to do with the spell? But no, because she did penetrate his mind. A little bit. So, and honestly, it felt like she couldn't even get past that room with him and Aunt May. So, you know what I mean? Like, how they didn't explain that at all. And that kind of frustrated me a little bit because it's like, you made that into like a big plot point that she couldn't hop into, she can hop into everybody else, but she can't hop into Peter Parker. Why come? I don't understand. I really don't. And also, I'm really kind of irritated by Peter's decision to not say anything to Ned or to MJ because it's like, you could have went off to college with them. You could have been like, y'all could have had your plan and everything. Like, you already know that's your best friend and your girlfriend. So like, how are you gonna be like, oh, well, I don't want to tell them because maybe their life is better without me or whatever. Like, I don't know. That just bothers me. But also, I'm also the type of person that gets irritated whenever I see two people in love, but then one of them is like, ooh, I'm not going to tell the other person how much I love them. And the other one is like, ooh, I'm not going to tell this person how much I love them. And then y'all just both just dancing around each other for what? For why? Wasting time? Y'all love to waste time, don't you? Any damn way. I guess that's it for the video. I will be back with a video this Friday. I did go live last Saturday. I made a community post about it. Y'all didn't see it. And then y'all want to get mad at me talking about, oh, you never go live anymore. Yes, I do. Y'all just don't be watching out. And I put it on Patreon. No, I don't. That's a lie. That's a lie and a half. But I'm going to start putting it on Patreon. So I don't know. I don't know what y'all want me to do. But I just be going live whenever. But this Friday, we are going to be back with another blackety black ass video. Black America has a maintenance problem. So stay tuned for that if you want to see it. If not, I'm not gonna show. There's plenty of other things to watch. Okay. Like and subscribe or whatever. Enjoy the Patreon. Bye.